Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another King Webby YouTube video. And in this video, guys, I will be giving you guys my top 10 fantasy sleepers for the NFL. These are guys that are probably not picked up on a team in your fantasy league, or they're not being started. So if they're not being started, a lot of guys are going to be willing to give them up. I know, like my bench guys, I'm willing to give up. So number one I have on this list, like the 10th, like the kind of the push, is Tony Pollard. He is the Cowboys running back up behind Ezekiel Elliott. Think about it. Ezekiel Elliott just signed that contract, right? But here's the thing with Zeke. Yesterday, he got maybe 20, 25 touches. Because they want to monitor him. Pollard got a good bit because they don't want Zeke to get hurt, and that's going to probably maintain because Zeke's not in football shape. Number two, David Montgomery. He's only started in 67% of fantasy leagues, so in 33% of leagues he's not taken. Especially if you're in an 8-person league, he's probably not going to be taken. I mean, he's going to be starting the 10 or 12. So I think that's a guy that could really step it up for you. Number three, Lamar Jackson. Before his breakout week last week against the Miami Dolphins, he was only owned in 35.4% of leagues. That is definitely going to go up with his breakout game against the Miami Dolphins. But get him. Put the waiver claim in now if you're on ESPN. On Tuesday morning, you better be up at 9 o'clock trying to pick him up if you don't already have him. In my league, I drafted him. I knew he was going to break out at some point this season. I drafted him. Number four, Christian Kirk. So, I don't know what he's matched up as. I say he's a 2 to Fitzgerald. So, you still have Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald is still an amazing target to have for the young Kyler Murray. And Christian Kirk is going to be complemented by Larry Fitzgerald. Christian Kirk is definitely going to get open. He had like 11 points for me in fantasy last week, and I am in a PPR league. So that's good. I mean, that's a guy you could trade for. I mean, he's only starting in 10.9% of leagues. So cop him. Number five, I have another wide receiver, and he's on my favorite team, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He is owned in 1.1% of fantasy leagues. Yes, owned in that amount of fantasy leagues. He is the 2 to Davante Adams. So Davante Adams is going to be guarded by the number 1 corner. He's the 2. And then Geronimo's the slot. Scantling is the Packers' deep bomb. You know Rodgers likes going deep. Scantling has speed. He has agility. He has the hands. Last week, he was the only explosion in the Packers' offense. The 46-yard bomb. That was the only explosion, and look who caught it. Number 6, I have another Packers player. He's only started in 6.2% of leagues. Jimmy Graham. He's starting to learn how to fit into this Green Bay offense. It's a great sign for Packers fans. It's a great sign for Aaron Rodgers. He finally has a red zone target back. It's not just Davante Adams, Davante Adams, Davante Adams. Now it's Jimmy Graham, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Geronimo Allison, who's not on this list, but, you know, you could get him. That's a bonus one that I just gave you guys. You made it this far in the video. Number 7, Donte Moncrief. This might be another push, but he's the number 2 to Juju Smith-Schuster. He didn't get mixed up that well in the game against New England. Look what happened. Pittsburgh maybe finds a better way to get him in. Maybe they start winning games if they mix him up. Next, we have Chris Thompson. Darius Geis was not that great against Philadelphia Eagles. Chris Thompson was, and he is started in 0.2% of fantasy leagues. So, he's probably a free agent, to be honest, in your league. Check him up tomorrow. And if AP stays out, he's the number 2 running back. If AP comes back, well then, alright, well, sorry, that's probably not the best pickup. Jamison Crowder. He had 14 catches last week. If you're in a PPR league, that is amazing. And that's just what you need. You need the points. And he's on a young New York Jets team. Sam Darnold. They just signed Le'Veon Bell. I know he's not that young. He's the veteran presence that is going to be built in that team. He's going to carry the load. And that's going to open up Jamison Crowder. And number 10, Randall Cobb. I miss him a lot in Golden Green. I really do. But he's the second to Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's finally breaking out. He is finally showing the elite wide receiver that he is. And he's going to be guarded by the elite cornerbacks of the National Football League. So do you know what that means? Randall Cobb was a slot his whole career. He made a career out of being a slot. Guess what? Now he's a number 2 wide receiver next to Amari Cooper. Just like when he was next to Davante Adams. Look what he did there. It was amazing. The year that we ran the table in Green Bay, he had 3 touchdowns against the Giants next to Davante. Randall Cobb is a great slot and 2 receiver. Dak Prescott went to him 5 times. He caught 4 out of them, 69 yards and a touchdown. That is 4 points for catches, 6 for the touchdown. That's a 13-point game there. What can you complain about that? And these are sleepers, and that's a guy that's probably a free agent in your league. I mean, he's only owning 0.9% of the leagues. So if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I just gave you guys some sleepers that are probably not drafted in your league. And these are things that could put you over the top, put your fantasy team over the top. I'm King Webby, and I'm out.